They said the house on Black Hollow Road was empty. Not abandoned, not haunted, just empty. But there was something about that emptiness that made people uneasy, like a silence so dense it had weight. The kind of place you instinctively avoid without ever knowing why. Ethan Reyes didn't believe in that kind of fear. A freelance filmmaker with a passion for the macabre, he made his living chasing urban legends and unraveling myths. Most of them turned out to be nothing: dusty basements, trick mirrors, the wind. But the Hollow House intrigued him. There were no murders, no confirmed disappearances. No viral videos of ghostly sightings. Just whispers. Locals spoke of a suffocating quiet. A stillness that clung to the bones. And a warning: don't stay past 3 nights. Ethan laughed when he heard that. 3 nights? That's exactly how long he planned to stay. He packed his gear, cameras, batteries, rations, notebooks, and set out on a rainy October morning. The drive was uneventful until the GPS stopped working 5 miles from the destination. From there, he relied on printed directions and a vague memory from Google Earth. When he reached the gate, he nearly missed it. Twisted iron bars half swallowed by thick vines, the entrance looked more like the edge of a forgotten graveyard than a driveway. The mailbox was rusted shut. No number. No name. Just a smudge of black paint and the faint outline of something that may have once been a crest or symbol. The house itself stood 3 stories tall, the shingles curled like dead leaves. Its windows stared outward, unbroken but unwelcoming. The door opened with a soft groan, not locked, not barred. Just waiting. Inside, the air was stale but dry. No mold, no rot, just the smell of time and dust. Furniture remained: sofas with white sheets thrown over them, books still on shelves, a grandfather clock that had stopped ticking at 2:14. The kitchen table was set for 3. Plates. Forks. Crystal glasses. All untouched. Ethan documented everything. He spoke into his camera with the same detached curiosity he always did, making observations like a scientist. But something itched at the back of his mind. The silence was total. No wind. No creaking wood. No birdsong outside. Even his own footsteps felt muted. That night, he chose to sleep in the living room, on the couch near the fireplace. It took hours for sleep to come, and when it did, it was shallow. He dreamed of mirrors, endless mirrors, each reflecting something just slightly off. In one, he had no eyes. In another, his smile was too wide. And in the last, the couch behind him was empty, but something breathed in his ear. He woke up gasping at 2:14 a.m. On the second day, Ethan noticed something small but undeniable. The table now had 4 plates instead of 3. He checked the footage from the day before. 3. Clear as day. Now, 4. He thought maybe he had miscounted, or perhaps a plate had been hidden beneath the tablecloth. Still, it gnawed at him. That afternoon, he explored the upstairs bedrooms. 2 were furnished. One was empty, the wallpaper half-peeled, the floor coated in a fine gray dust. He left that door open. When he returned an hour later, it was shut. He asked aloud if someone was there. No answer. Only the house, holding its breath. That night, he reviewed more footage. At 2:14 a.m., on the camera in the hallway, a soft creak echoed from the 3rd floor. A door opening. Then, silence. He had been asleep. No one else was in the house. Or so he thought. The 3rd day, something changed. The light from the windows looked wrong, like it filtered in through stained glass, though the panes were clear. Shadows fell in impossible angles. He checked the time constantly, but the clocks all disagreed. His phone had no signal. No GPS. The battery drained twice as fast as usual. That evening, he noticed a smell. Not strong, barely noticeable, but present. Like dried flowers or old perfume. It followed him from room to room. At one point, he turned and saw a shape at the end of the hallway. Tall. Thin. Human. Gone in a blink. He searched the house from top to bottom. Nothing. No footprints. No open doors. But when he came back to the living room, the couch cushions were indented, as if someone had been sitting there. That night, the dreams returned. This time, he wasn't alone in them. A man with hollow eyes watched him from across the room, never blinking. A woman stood behind him, whispering in a language he couldn't understand. And a child crawled beneath the floorboards, giggling. Ethan woke to find his journal open beside him. He hadn't touched it since arriving. The last page was filled with unfamiliar handwriting. Neat. Deliberate. Repeating the same sentence. You're not alone. You were never alone. He tried to leave the next morning. Threw everything into his bag, loaded the car, and drove down the path. But the road didn't end. He drove for an hour, then two, only to find himself back in front of the iron gate. He tried walking. Same result. The house stood still, patient. Waiting. By the fifth day, Ethan had stopped filming. He stopped speaking. He listened instead. The house had a rhythm now. Creaks at specific hours. Breathing behind closed doors. Whispers through the vents. Once, he looked out a second-story window and saw a crowd standing on the lawn. Dozens of them. Unmoving. Watching. When he blinked, they were gone. He found more notes in his journal. Written in his handwriting but with no memory of writing them. Phrases like "don't look in the mirror" and "the fourth plate is yours." One page simply read, "It feeds on time. You've already been here for months." He laughed when he read that. A dry, cracked sound. He hadn't shaved in days. His skin looked gray in the mirror. His eyes hollow. That night, he heard music. A piano playing softly from the basement. He hadn't gone down there yet. Something told him not to. But now, it was calling him. The stairs were narrow, the air damp. The music stopped as he descended. The basement was larger than expected, with low ceilings and brick walls. In the center sat a mirror. Just a mirror. But when he looked into it, the reflection didn't match. The room behind him was empty. He wasn't holding a flashlight. He wasn't even standing. He was lying down, eyes open, mouth agape. Lifeless. And beside the body stood a tall figure in black, watching. Ethan screamed. He ran. Up the stairs, through the house, into the rain. But the world had warped. The sky was static. The trees didn't move. He pounded on the iron gate until his hands bled. Eventually, he returned to the house. He had nowhere else to go. The final journal entry was scrawled across 2 pages, frantic and uneven. It doesn't want me to die. It wants me to stay. To forget. To become part of the silence. The fourth plate. The extra bed. The face in the mirror. No one saw Ethan Reyes again. Months later, hikers found his car dusty but intact. His equipment still inside. The house, however, looked untouched. No sign of recent entry. No trace of him. Only the table, still set for 4. And a faint smell of dried flowers in the air. Some say the house isn't haunted in the traditional sense. It doesn't scream. It doesn't kill. It absorbs. And once you're inside, the world forgets you were ever real.